So growing up, I did not like Bangladesh at all because it felt like hell on earth. I grew up in Botswana, but my parents really wanted me to stay in touch with the culture, so we would always watch the news, and it just seemed like a place that I just never wanted to come back to. So it's Thursday, the 18th of July, 2024. I have some really important work at the bank and I really need to go to the bank that day. Some protests have already been going on. So I go to the ATM to cash out and I hear loud gunshots from far and I hear people screaming. I'm looking up at the sky, there's smoke, and this air passes by me and I smell it, and immediately blood rushes to my face and I start feeling extremely dizzy. It's really bad. I can't even breathe from here. I am 5 kilometers away from this tear gas and my entire face is reacting. I literally need a gas mask, which is why I'm right now rushing back home. So I run back home, I put on my gas mask. I really need to go to the bank today. It's a Thursday, and after that it's gonna be a weekend, and who knows what's gonna happen. I hire myself a Uber Moto and I'm seeing this kid screaming, there's fire everywhere, smoke, people bleeding from their heads, and you can feel this repressed anger that has been boiling up due to the oppression that has been going on over the past 15 years. I've been seeing this my entire life in Bangladesh. Police are literally just gonna, kill the students. They don't care about their lives at all. So it's kind of useless to go and protest about any of this. And you can't help but, feel angry. And also, just to make things clear, I do not support a single party in Bangladesh. Every time they have come into power, they have ruined this country.
The city has never been this quiet. They've apparently implemented a curfew, but there's no soldier or cop outside. So it's all just an illusion that they've created out of fear. There is no network. I can't even call anyone outside the country anymore. We don't have any Wi-Fi or mobile data. It's a nightmare, if I'm being honest. My biggest mistake in my life has always been coming back to this country.
So at a very young age, I decided that I was never gonna come back to this country. But after my mom passed away in 2019, we will be moving to Bangladesh. Her biggest desire, was to be buried right next to my sister who died in 2014, and I have to stay strong because if I don't, then who else is gonna? On top of that, right after I finished burying my mother, I almost got killed by my own relatives. Most of my relatives are police, and Bangladesh police are some of the most corrupt people in the world. They can literally put you in a false case and tamper with the evidence, and on top of that, there are people, who commit murder and then they pay a significant amount of money and they can easily put someone else in place of them in jail. That's the type of country that Bangladesh is. And you can't say any of this. I'm not gonna post this video until I leave this country for my own safety. A pandemic has started. I just turned 18, which means my visa has expired. And look how close I am to the airport. I could literally jump the fences and take a flight. I want to stay here.
Yesterday, this little kitty came to lives, I guess. It's literally the size of my hand. Yeah, I just want to compare it when it grows big and it's no longer a rodent.
So what is it exactly that these students are protesting about? Basically, they want the quota system to come to an end. So what is the quota system? It's basically a system that gives people an unfair advantage when applying for government jobs. Let's say you're a doctor and you basically get a job not based on merit, but because your grandfather fought in the war. That doctor might not be that good and they might end up taking someone's life, which happens every now and then in Bangladesh. So people have lost their trust in doctors.
To end the news, the main points again. The government issues gazette notification regarding quota in government jobs as per the verdict of the appellate division. 93% posts will be filled on the basis of merit. The government will ensure treatment of general students injured during movement and ensure their safety, says the law minister.
I don't really know what's actually happening outside because the media is filled with propaganda. The things that I saw that day, you just can't forget it.
6 days later, the internet comes back. It's really slow. Most of the social medias are restricted. The videos that come out of the atrocities that happen, it just...
আমাদের সন্তান সমতুল্য কাজে ছাত্ররা কোনোভাবে আহত হোক
Hi, I don't know if you guys can see me, but our electricity has been cut off and we don't know what's gonna happen. There may be a raid. Usually they cut off the electricity, then there's a raid. They check through everyone's phone. So it's scary. It's really scary.
Random arrests started happening in the streets. They started checking your phone for evidence. If you had VPN, they would arrest you and they would take you, and you had no idea where you were going to be taken. Minors, I'm talking about 16, 17-year-olds, they were getting arrested and they started taking them for torture. When they take you into jail, they will torture you and they will take your fingerprints and implant it into some tool that causes violence, and they will say, look, he's a terrorist. I don't want to lose my life, but it's also very frustrating to watch everything happen before my eyes and not being able to do anything. Because if you speak too much about it, your house will get raided, you'll be arrested, and God knows what will happen to you. You will disappear for life. So I've been thinking about making a video and raising awareness while also trying to stay safe. I genuinely hope the video that I'm making can make a difference and create some international pressure.
So I decided to remove all my posts from Instagram, change my name, and then I started posting videos about what's happening here so I can raise some awareness, because like that's the least that I can do. There's a possibility that my house might get raided and I might get arrested, so I need to take precautions. So we have an attic and I've been sort of cleaning it up and designing it so I can like go and hide there, and then like, oh lord, what happened? And then I can use this cardboard to like cover myself up and just stay there in case, you know, police come to raid my house. Hi, I don't know if you guys can see me, but our electricity has been cut off and we don't know what's gonna happen. There may be a raid.
So it turns out they were actually there to fix one of the power grids, and it was not a raid, so thankfully nothing happened to me. So things have gotten even worse from before. There was a massive protest today, and I tried my best to film it from far without going into it because I don't want to risk my life. It was bad. The youth party came and they started attacking. The police were shooting at the students. It was not a place that you wanted to be in. And today the students seem to be even more pissed off, and they have basically called for march to Dhaka. Basically they're inviting the entire country's people to come and raid the Prime Minister's residency. It all started as just a quota movement, and now it has become this one condition ultimatum where they want the Prime Minister to resign. Do I think it's gonna be possible? Hell no. Because the government has implemented a curfew, and if anyone tries to raid the residency, they're gonna shoot on spot. But also, I'm right now looking at the live stream, and the students are out in Shahbag Square, and they have not been killed, even though there is a curfew that has been implemented. And today in certain areas, the army were actually shooting at the police because the police were shooting at the civilians. But then in also other parts of the city, the army were shooting the students. So I don't know, you can't really trust the army. The person in charge of the army, he's a close relative to the Prime Minister. Do you see how strong of a grip this government has over the country? I've not been able to sleep all night. I've been like literally watching the live stream, and I don't know, it just seems like everything's just gonna go wrong, you know.
A lot of people have been marching towards Dhaka. But I'm afraid that they're gonna all get attacked and killed. Because, like, this lady does not care about people's life at all. She has killed a lot of people in the past. Like, completely wiped out, traces of murder. I don't know.
By 2 p.m., the news comes that the Prime Minister has fled the country and she has resigned.
What you see right behind me is a celebration after 15 long years of dictatorship regime. Bangladesh is finally free.
Independence is very easy to gain, but hard to maintain. Literally, after a few hours of independence, all hell broke loose.
Just when I thought we might be able to save the police bombing us.
That very night, looting, shooting, murder, Hindu temples started getting burnt, robberies started happening, people's houses were getting burnt, people who belonged to the government's party, they were being hung upside down and being beaten by people. People started talking about jihadists taking over the country. It just seemed like all this was for nothing.
Hey, Lam Lam, what are you doing? Lam Lam, get down. Lam Lam. Hey, hey. Have you gone crazy? Huh? What is wrong with you? Why were you trying to jump off? I'm gonna miss you, buddy. I really am gonna. Please don't, endanger yourself while I'm gone. Back in 2021, it was really depressing during Ramadan, and this cat came into my life as a blessing. I really don't wanna just leave her here. Like, this cat is really special to me. Are you gonna miss me, Lam Lam? She has no clue that I'm leaving.
It's been a few days since all of that. An interim government has been placed. Students are controlling traffic. Most of the police have not returned to their posts. They have all gone missing because they were the ones who were being used to, kill the people, and people are very pissed about them. Local imams are protecting some of the temples. Some of the temples, not all of them. Banks are not letting you cash out a huge amount of money. So it seems like we're headed in Sri Lanka's direction. There might be a huge economic crash. And at night, students are also patrolling the streets to ensure everybody's safety because robberies are taking place every night. Do I believe that Bangladesh is going to have a bright future? 100%. I genuinely truly believe in my generation, but I don't believe in the older generation one bit. If they were not corrupt, then this corrupt government would have never been able to stay in power. I believe that this country is going to thrive in the future, but I'm not sure about the next 3 to 5 years. I think the next 3 to 5 years is gonna be dark. I'm thinking it off like a catapult, Sometimes to launch yourself ahead, you need to go a little back. There's a lot of chaos, but I believe in due time, this will all come down. Corruption will be a lot less, and I truly believe that this country will prosper because the students of this country, the young people, they're hardworking, dedicated, and extremely patriotic.
I just applied for my visa today, so very soon I'll be leaving. Like, I'm supposed to be excited about this, but I don't know. I feel a little sad. Right there's the airport. I've always been coming here, like just looking at the flights taking off, and I would always envy people who would be able to leave, and I would wish that I could also leave. For some reason, I don't want to leave now. It's kind of like, with this world, you want to leave this world, but when the time comes, you're like, nah, I don't want to die. I'm gonna miss this city. I really am gonna. What in the lame is the lame doing? Oh Lord, look at this. It's so beautiful. Definitely gonna miss my family, but more than that, I'm really gonna miss my cat. Oh my god, I'm going to miss fighting with you. Ow! I really wanted to take my cat with me, but it's gonna be very expensive. I called the people who deal with the transportation and paperwork, and they basically say that I need $3,500 to transport her, which is a lot. Like, I'm not rich. Maybe I could have done it, but then after our internet, like, sort of got cut off, I actually lost all my clients. I miss my mom. Maybe that doesn't sound so manly when I say it, Maybe I sound like a little child. Oh no, I miss my mommy. I really want to go visit her grave one last time before I leave, but I can't for my own safety. We spend so much money, time and energy trying to bring her body to Bangladesh during Christmas week. And now I can't even go visit her grave, because if I go there, my relatives are there waiting to... I love this country.
I'm gonna miss this local store. I would always come here to get snacks.
The city is quite imperfect, and I think that's exactly what makes it perfect. It's the room for improvement that it has that allows it to sort of be perfect. Because if there was no room for improvement, then the city wouldn't be perfect at all. When I was young, I would always come here with my mum to buy school shoes. So this store is kind of special.